All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessing be upon the house of the elect. All right. Now, this lesson is going to be entitled Knowing the Mind of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right. Because in order to be a man of the Lord, you got to understand how the Lord works, you see. And one of the first things that's gonna happen to you when you come to this truth is the Lord's gonna try you. All right, He's gonna put you through that hell. He's gonna put you through that fire. All right, because the Lord wants to test to see if you're that chaff, if you're that wood, or if you're those lively stones. All right, and we all want to be a part of those lively stones. All right, which are compared to the elect. So, going through that fire, we got to have a mindset, which is the Lord is going to put these things on you, ultimately, to bring you down to your lower state, to the lowest that you can go, all right? And we have many examples in the scriptures where we actually seen that happen, all right, to the men of the Lord. Because, the people in the world, the Lord is really not dealing with them on that manner and on that level. All right, they might get afflicted, they might get judged, but it's because of their wickedness. But coming to this truth, man, when you set your heart aright and you decide to serve the Lord with all your heart and all your soul, then you're gonna be tried and you're gonna be brought down, man. The Lord is gonna bring you down to the lower state, because when you come out the world, you still have some bad habits that you have to get rid of. You know, first and foremost, for me, man, when I came into the truth, I had bad habits that I needed to get rid of. All right, so the Lord will break you down to the last molecule to try to get rid of those infirmities. You see, a perfect example is when you're trying to basically mold and fashion a stone, a gem. You know what I'm saying? In order to make a diamond, you have to make a diamond out of coal. So the steps that you take to make a diamond out of coal is you have to put it through that fire. You know what I'm saying? And if it's righteous, then it's gonna come out shining brighter than ever. So that I'm just comparing that to the hell that you're gonna go to. You know what I'm saying? Because some brothers fall out because they can't take the heat. Right, they were that chaff. Some brothers fall out because they get offended by Yahweh Shai. Alright? Because the Lord does not operate on the level as you operate, alright? The scripture say in Isaiah chapter 55 that my thoughts are not your thoughts and your ways are not my ways. Right? So the Lord wants you to call upon his name when you were brought down to your lower state. We might catch hell. Brothers might lose their jobs. Shit. Brothers might get their wives, their wives might leave them and take the kids. Brothers might be catching hell at the workplace. Their car might be breaking down. Hey, the apostles in the book of Acts, they actually cheered when they were afflicted for Yahweh Bashin Yahshai, when they went to hell for Yahweh Bashin Yahshai. Because we know that the reason why we're catching hell is it's for the right reasons. It's not because we're doing anything bad. It's not because we're with the world. All right, because if you're catching hell, it's because you're doing something bad. That's another story. But nevertheless, hey, the first precept that I want to get is being in a contrite spirit, because the Lord loves that, man. The Lord loves a contrite spirit. All right, this is Psalms 34 and verse. Let me actually get down to the verse 17. It says, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivers them all out of their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. You see, now let's go into that word contrite. We got to get the understanding. It says, the ka. All right, it goes to say, a crushed, literally powder, contrite, destruction, Let me see if I can get more into it. Bear with me 1 second. Let me go to the etymology of the word contrite. All right, there we go. This is a perfect example. It says broken in spirit by a sense of guilt. It says conscience stricken and resolved to not sin again. You see? It says worn out and ground to pieces. All right, so the Lord will ground you to two pieces, man. All right, because we understand that the reason why we're catching all this hell, the reason why the 2/3 of our people are in a state of darkness, all right, is because we went off. All right, we broke that everlasting covenant with Yahweh Shin Shai, starting with our forefathers. But you know, the Lord now is stretching out His arm a second time, bringing back the elect, the hopeful elect. Okay, and by doing that, that puts us in the sense of guilt. You know, so when we catch this hell, we shouldn't be murmuring or getting offended because we deserve the hell that we catch. That's why that's what being in a contrite spirit means. You see what I mean? It says back in Psalms 34 and verse 20. Let me start at 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He keeps all his bones. Not one of them is broken. All right, so many of the afflictions of the righteous. The scriptures say in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, which I'm going to get next. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare that soul for temptation. You got to know what you're getting yourself into, man. All right? Hey, because the Lord is going to be dealing with you personally. All right? Each and every brother has a personal walk with the Lord. And no matter what hell you go through, the Lord always has his eye on you, making sure that you get where you need to get. All right? It's not a coincidence that every single day we always it always seems like trouble is all around us. People are dying left and right. People are getting sick by all these diseases out here. All right? People are dying because of strange apparitions. But the men of the Lord are always being protected. Well, that's because the Lord has his angels around you. Those ministering spirits. And you might not realize it, but the angels are all around you, man, in the fourth dimension, always watching over you. You see? It says, evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. You see, hey, that's exactly right, man. This is the faith that we have. All right? The Lord's going to protect you, man. You just got to trust in the Lord. When you're just like Job did. A perfect example is Job. When he was brought down, when he got all those boils on his skin, when his wife said, why are you still keeping your integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But Lord did not sin once with his lips, because he understand that, if he receives good, then he's going to receive evil. All right? To the Lord, there's a sign, there's a time and there's a season for everything, man. The Lord might have mercy on you, for a little while. You might get a good job. You're doing good for a little while. All right, you might be stable. All right, you might just find a woman. She's beautiful as hell. All right, and she's humbled. But next thing you know, you're gonna start catching hell. Your car might start breaking down. You might lose your job. You might not be able to pay your rent because there's a balanced power with Yahweh Shin Shai. The Lord's not unjust. He's not unbalanced, man. You see what I mean? So the Lord's gonna do certain things to you to see if you're still gonna keep your integrity, or if you're just gonna go offended and say, curse Yahweh Shin Shai. Man, don't be in that type of spirit. Understand that the Lord is always gonna be there. He just wants to see what your reaction is gonna be. All right, because if the Lord gives you everything that your heart can desire on this side, then you're gonna leave the truth, man. You're gonna depart from the truth. And the Lord does not want you to do that, man. The Lord knows what's good for you. Man, fucking Jake, you don't know what's good for yourself, man. But the Lord knows what's good for you. That's why we got to trust in Yahweh Shin Shai. Because look at what happened to the nation of Israel when Moses took us out of the holy Salakia. When Moses took us out of Egypt, and we were in that the desert, the wilderness for 40 years. The Lord was on our side, and by doing that, we destroyed all our enemies, all the Canaanites, the Hamites, and we took the land. And what happened? The Lord made an agreement with us, if he said, hearken unto me, and leave not off my commandments and my laws and statutes, and I will forever protect you. But if you leave off, all right, if you go into these other nations, then they're gonna turn you away. And what happened? Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. You see, because the Lord, He basically gave us everything, man. And then Israel started saying that we did this all by ourselves. Israel started thinking that their shit didn't stink. You know what I mean? So the Lord knows what's good for you, man. That's the point. The Lord knows what's good for you, man. All right. This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure." Right. Scripture says, "He that endures till the end, the same shall be saved." All right. So you got to constantly endure, man. Because when you really think about it, it's not just you that's going through the hell. Every single brother is going through the hell, man. Even our apostles and elders. But when they get on the camera, when they bring out these lessons, they leave all that shit in the past. They leave all that, because they don't want to affect the brothers that they're trying to edify. Okay, if you're bringing all your problems, all right, in the truth, and you call yourself teaching, that's gonna have a ripple effect. You see, that's why the apostle, they're always in a good spirit every time they're teaching. So are the brothers, man, because every single brother's catching hell. Every single brother got to walk that narrow and straight path. It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." Right? You gotta cleave unto Yahweh Shai. All right, don't depart away. Don't lean onto your own understanding, man. Don't start trying to do things your own way. That's when you're gonna start falling away from the truth. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Right, we gotta wait for the Lord, man. The Lord knows the hell that you're going through. The scripture says in Amos, I believe it's 3 and 8, shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and people be not afraid. All right. The Lord's the one doing all these things, man. The Lord controls the righteous side and the wicked side. All right. So understanding that, man, hey, that should put you in the mindset of, okay, well, the Lord's doing this for my betterment. The Lord's trying to, help me improve in some areas where I'm lacking. Because some brothers might have some gray areas where they think they're not sinning, but they're doing some things that are affecting their growth in this truth. And the Lord will put you through that hell so that you can be in that lower state and turn to Him and cry unto Him. You see what I mean? The Lord wants you to magnify His name so that He can come and He can save you out of your trouble. All right, it says, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generation of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon his name? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction." Okay, so the Lord never forsook any of the prophets that called upon his name. And we see that, man. We have perfect examples of that, So, hey, Jake, it best behoove you that whenever you put through adversity, trust in the Lord, man. So that's all I have on that. Until the next time I say, Shalom.